Good day and welcome back to another My Hero Ultra Impact video. So pretty much this is like the last thing I kind of want to show before I do my review video. And essentially, well, I might do one more video in completing the awakening missions for Kachan. But yeah, essentially this is the highest level currently that you can take on of the USJ. And I thought we'd just take it on with purely ability-based characters and an ability-based team, and then just kind of see how we go. You get 3 attempts at the boss, and you just have to slowly whittle them down. Obviously, the goal is to beat them in one turn, but yeah, basically you want to try and at least beat them as quickly as possible. If you beat them in one turn, you 3-star the stage. And then essentially you can skip or quick result or whatever that stage multiple times. So basically you can then quick farm the highest amount of USJ medals possible per day. So obviously a goal is to complete a certain typing with a certain amount within a certain amount of time, or without losing a unit, or well, finishing it in one attempt. I think that's how it works for USJ. So yeah, basically we just want to try and finish it. We want to try and push through, and in doing so we're going to obviously complete the highest level difficulty. It is one of the awakening missions for Kachan. I've awakened 3 of these units. I will be awakening the other 2. I'm going to invest orbs in them. And yeah, basically we're just gonna kind of finish up as much as we can, and really just see how everything goes. Realistically speaking, there's not too much more we can do in the game. I think we've done a pretty good level of everything. I can't really see like much more for us to cover, barring the awakening missions. Like once we've fully done all of the awakening missions, once we've fully unlocked the peace board route side of the ability Kachan unit that we have, and we essentially have our first 100% unit, I think then at that point we're basically done in terms of like the journey of a noob series and everything. The game itself is not very taxing. To be honest with you, it's probably the most, or one of the most lenient like mobile phone games I've experienced. Like a lot of the times you can just auto battle everything, especially the PvE stuff. For the most part, like getting resources or farming units is as simple as re-skipping a stage. So although I wouldn't rate it highly as a game, I do think it does have space and metric, to kind of like improve as a game overall. And I think that's something you kind of have to appreciate about the game, even if technically speaking it's not the most like admirable or like desirable thing about the game. Like, oh hey, the game doesn't take up a lot of your time, it's not too taxing on you. I mean, the fact that that's a criteria that we have to utilize when we discuss mobile games is a bit tedious at best, but I mean, it is what it is. You kind of just have to like accept these things. So yeah, as you can see, we're currently just working on Endeavour here. I wish there was like a substitute system, so I think that's where the game could have or could improve itself. So get away to like, you have 3 that are out, but you get like 1 substitution or something, or you can get 2 substitutes or something, where essentially you can switch in your back characters constantly. Maybe it takes a turn away or something, or it delays an auto attack. It would be nice to be able to create some more synergy with the teams. 3 units I feel is not really enough to deal with the synergy, at least from my perspective. Generally leaves you room to only really have a tankier guy, a healer person, and a damage dealer. Why you would have a tank, I'm not too certain, unless they're a debuffing tank, because unless they can pull aggro, then there's no real point in them. So yeah, it is just a little bit strange. Although, like, it is what it is. You kind of have to just see how these games go. They can progress, for sure. I think an extra ability or the ability to sub in characters would be a really good step for this game. Just to allow you to create, like, more interesting strategies. Like here, I'd like to sub in, my, like, other 2 units to debuff them, decrease speed, bind the enemy, slow them, seal their special attacks, all those sort of interesting things my 2 substitutes can do, but you don't want them out the entire time. Like, that's the thing. The thing is, you don't really want them, like, out all the time, because they don't really do, like, a lot of damage or anything. So for me, I don't know, I would probably say that, like, at least in terms of the game, the best thing to do would be to sub these guys in, or you give all the units 3 abilities, because some of these units only have 1, and yeah, like the proccing and everything, and it's like there's turns where you don't do anything, and for me that's just not good. Like, you want some kind of interactivity for a turn, especially if you're deciding to, like, actively play the game. Because if you're actively playing a game and you do nothing during a turn, it's very different to, like, if the game auto has or auto institutes like a like no turn or something like that. If you're auto playing the game and you have no turn, it's very different to, like, not auto playing the game and having a turn. So yeah, for me, I don't know, I just feel like it's a bit sorely missed, like, currently in the game. But I mean, it is what it is. Like, you can't really control those sort of things. But I do feel like the game would definitely 100% benefit from that and would be better for it. At least from my side, I think it would definitely be a lot better for it. Just, I can't really see, like, a reason why to not implement it in any way, shape or form. Maybe they'll add it on with whatever their future upgrade mechanisms are, or maybe they're just not interested. Maybe they don't really care too much. So we did some decent damage in that first attempt. Hopefully we can finish him off in the second attempt, so we'll definitely give it a good go. We did do, like, quite a bit over half, I'd say about 60% of his health in one go almost, well 55% roughly to be exact. So for me to do 45% we should be able to, but I mean, we'll see, you never know. So it could, not be as easy as I think. It could definitely be as easy as I think. But yeah, for me I think the game is unfortunately missing a little bit. It's not so much anything, like, specific that it's missing. I just think across the board the game isn't necessarily strong in one area. Like, Dokkan, for example, has the pre-team building and it has the animations. The animations are what keeps you entertained during the actual gameplay. The pre-team building is what, where your thought process and your investment process goes in. Like, which leader do I have? Who do I need to summon for? What items do I have? What gear do I have? Can I put hidden potential orbs in? Do I need dupes? All these things, link leveling, all these things create internal investment. My Hero Ultra Impact kinda has that. Like, you can somewhat synergize between units, but there's no barring typings. It's really only their abilities that affect who you link them with. There's no real other mechanism, at least as far as I can tell. So, like, your pre-team building is pretty much down to which unit have I basically leveled up the highest and have the most pieces in, and what gear can I put on them. And the gear itself is pretty straightforward. It's usually like, this is good for a mind ability character, this is good for a hero character, and then you just stick that on depending on what kind of event you're going in or what your unit struggles with. And that's that's kind of it. And then in game, they have a bit more, I would say, investment than Dokkan. Like, you have your little QTE system, which you can, enjoy. And then you also have, like, the animations are not as good as something like Dokkan or Legends, for that matter. I feel like the art style is okay, and some attacks, like some of the attacks look really great, and then others just look really, really bad. Like, some are just literal generic flames coming from hands or things like that. There's no like torrents of flames or something like that. Something that really would make you go, wow, this looks really, really cool. So for me, I don't know. Like, I think it's okay. It could be really good if it improves. It could be something really, really fun to play. And I think that it will get better over time, hopefully. I think that the IP is definitely there from an interesting standpoint. Like, if you look at all the characters in, My Hero Ultra Impact, obviously, which stems from the anime and the manga and everything, there's an interesting ensemble cast, which I think is what you need to make a good gacha game. It's very difficult to, like, Tokyo Ghoul try to make a good gacha game, and Tokyo Ghoul is one of my favorite IPs of all time, one of my favorite mangas of all time, but, like, it's very difficult because Tokyo Ghoul has an incredibly strong core cast of characters that is supported by memorable yet very brief, quirky base characters. Very similar to something like Attack on Titan, where it's like you're gonna have like 18 different forms of Eren, because that's like the #1 guy, and you're gonna have 18 forms of Mikasa, which I guess is true for Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball Z's had so long to generate an ensemble cast that it kind of gets by this, whereas some of these shorter or less lengthy shows do struggle. And I mean, it is also just a testament to the popularity of DBZ. I mean, if you look at something like Naruto always seems to be struggling in the mobile game industry. The game is not quite bad, but it is also just like the IP is Naruto and Sasuke, and you get like Madara, and then that's like where people's interest stops. You can get like a guy unit, and then that's, I guess, okay, but like overall the IP just can't carry enough. My Hero shouldn't really have that problem, but I guess it still can, especially if it doesn't do justice to those moments. The way you make side characters shine is by making them memorable and also making them presentable in certain ways. What Dokkan's done well is it's made moments like DB Saga, less popular moments of the series, more adorned to really, really good free-to-play cards and things you have to work for, and that really keeps the cast quite diverse. But we managed to do it in 3 attempts, a bit unlucky with our second one. We're very, very close. It only took us like just into the second attempt. I think we should be able to get it soon. I'm going to level up these guys. I'll invest some orbs into them, and I think we'll be able to kind of handle this event pretty soon. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. I'll only probably do one more. That will probably be finishing the Awakening missions. And then I think that's pretty much covered everything we need to cover for the My Hero Ultra Impact series. I just don't see there being that much more. But that's it from me, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, or leave a comment and I'll get back to it. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, bye.